Hey everybody, I am going to attempt to show how to produce a rain barrel out of stuff that you can buy at any hardware store, almost. There are a few that are better than others. And you need a 55-gallon drum, one that is preferably, you almost have to have one that has the removable lid. You'll need a drill, you'll need some mosquito netting. You'll need some different drill bits, some hole saws. This one is a 2 3/8 inch hole saw and a 1 inch hole saw. And I will put together the list for all the parts and make them available to anybody who needs them. Also, I use a 3/4 inch PVC adapter that's threaded on the male end, a 3/4 inch ball valve threaded, and a pipe thread to garden hose thread brass adapter. The idea behind a rain barrel is this makes the valve. The overflow is made out of 2 inch PVC clean out adapters, which I'll show you in just a second. And then there is a PVC grate that we put on top of the barrel itself on the lid, and that attaches to your downspout to harvest the rain from your roof. Now, the purpose for doing that is to have water, but to have water that you can use for things other than potable things. So, in a survival situation, you may come up on you may have enough warning to fill up your bathtubs with water. Well, that's all good. That's potable water. That's something you can drink, something you can cook with. But the water that you save in your rain barrel, in your rain harvesters, you can do other things with. You can cook it and drink it if you treat it properly and prepare it for consumption. Standard drew right out of the rain barrel is not suitable for consumption according to the EPA, but to each his own. However, you can flush your toilets, provided your sewage is still working. You can use it to boil foods or other things with. I mean, what else do you need water for? You need water for 1,000 things. They say on average we use 100 gallons per person per day in the house. Well, we might get into a situation where that's not possible. So having a source of water, if you're not near somewhere where there's a spring or a creek or somewhere where there's good water available, use what Mother Nature gives us. I've already started the construction of the rain barrel, and I'm going to try to do this. I'm doing this on my iPhone, so if it doesn't turn out well, you'll have to pardon me. Basically what I've done is, here's my barrel. And as you can see, the lid is removable. I'm trying to do this. Let me try something. And the barrel has, I cut a hole with that big hole adapter that I showed you on the top. That's for the overflow valve. I'm about to cut a hole for the valve on the bottom. The valve goes up on the sidewall, about 5 or 6 inches. That allows the sediment that falls into the barrel to settle below the valve so it's not coming out, but it also keeps it weighted down so that the barrel's not blowing off in high wind situations. On the lid, I've affixed that grate that I was telling you about, and I've used mosquito netting. I don't know if you can see that or not. On the inside of it, that keeps the mosquitoes out. We don't want to have West Nile virus. You go through all the trouble surviving, and then you get a bug from a bug. And what good is that? With the removable lid, I can actually reach inside and put this valve on the inside. The adapter that I showed you goes through the wall. I use a little caulking in there, water resistant caulking, and then I use it on the outside also, screw the valve on. And then the overflow valve is nothing more than an elbow, 2 inch PVC elbow, and then an adapter that goes on the inside. You take this little cap out, and that goes through the wall. Use a little cement and also use mosquito netting on the inside. It's really a pretty simple project. I make them for the city where I live, and you can see that if I can figure out how to work my camera, so it will slide right through. You want it tight enough that it's not too loose. That'll slide through there, and then using a little cement, I'll fix this to that, and with some netting inside there to keep the mosquitoes out, and voila, you have a rain barrel. It's about 50-55 gallons. You don't want to put the overflow valve way up on the very top of the barrel because the barrel thickens up there and it won't go through enough that you can get a good purchase whenever you try to cement that elbow onto there. So I invite anyone to call and ask any questions they may have about making rain barrels. I make hundreds of these things a year, and I kind of do it partly because it gives me some hobby money, but also because it allows me to help folks out and become a little more independent. And so, because I figure if enough of my neighbors have water, they won't be coming and asking me for some. And you know, you can warn people all day about storing food, you can warn people all day about ammunition and guns and things along those lines. However, you know, you can disguise a rain barrel as something for gardening and something they can use, and you can tell them, and it's true that plants prefer rainwater over city water because it hasn't been treated, doesn't have the chemicals in it. And you know, people are a little less likely to think you're crazy for having a rain barrel than having a tinfoil hat down in the bunker with all your food stores. But you know, if I can help out enough people around me, my idea is that perhaps they can be a little more independent and won't have to rely on me quite so much in a situation where the utilities are not available. So I don't know if I'll actually put this video up, but I'm going to edit it and look at it and see if I can do a better job. But bottom line is they're pretty simple to make. I'll put together a list of all the parts that you need, and if I had an assistant, maybe I could have somebody actually take me building this. But as it is, these are pretty simple to make, and if you have any questions or concerns about it, let me know and I'll tell you exactly what you need to get. There's minimal tools involved. There's you know, there are some tools that you need, but if you don't have a drill, you probably ought to have one anyway, even if it's a corded drill. I use cordless drills, but the hole saws are probably the most expensive part that you'll have to buy that go onto the drill to drill the holes in the barrel size. But it's a piece of cake after that. So y'all give me a call if y'all have any problems, or you can email me at Gigabelly, Gigabelly @ AOL.com, and I'll help you out any way I can. God bless. Take care.